The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. He who knows his enemy and himself well will not be defeated easily. Pretend to be weak, so your enemy may grow arrogant. Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy, and is not moved by him. One need not destroy one's enemy. One need only destroy his willingness to engage. Wait by the river long enough and the body of your enemy will float by you. Know thyself, know thy enemy. 1,000 battles, 1,000 victories. It is more important to outthink your enemy than to outfight him. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not, will be victorious. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. If you are far from the enemy, make him believe you are near. To a surrounded enemy, you must leave a way of escape. Hold out baits to entice the enemy. Feign disorder, and crush him. Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This will diminish his enthusiasm. Ultimate excellence lies not in winning every battle, but in defeating the enemy without ever fighting. Winning isn't enough. The acme of all skill is to defeat your enemy before taking the field. Making no mistakes is what establishes the certainty of victory, for it means conquering an enemy that is already defeated. Rapidity is the essence of war. Take advantage of the enemy's unreadiness, make your way by unexpected routes, and attack unguarded spots. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. If you know both yourself and your enemy, you can win 100 battles without a single loss. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Do not engage an enemy more powerful than you. And if it is unavoidable and you do have to engage, then make sure you engage it on your terms, not on your enemy's terms. To fight and conquer in all our battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Humble words and increased preparations are signs that the enemy is about to advance. Violent language and driving forward as if to the attack are signs that he will retreat. These are the 6 ways of courting defeat: neglect to estimate the enemy's strength, want of authority, defective training, unjustifiable anger, non-observance of discipline, failure to use picked men. It is the rule in war: if 10 times the enemy's strength, surround them; if 5 times, attack them; if double, be able to divide them; if equal, engage them; if fewer, defend against them; if weaker, be able to avoid them. All warfare is based on deception. If your enemy is superior, evade him. If angry, irritate him. If equally matched, fight, and if not, split and reevaluate. And therefore those skilled in war bring the enemy to the field of battle and are not brought there by him. To conquer the enemy without resorting to war is the most desirable. The highest form of generalship is to conquer the enemy by strategy. The art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him, not on the chance of his not attacking, but rather on the fact that we have made our position unassailable. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. However desperate the situation and circumstances, don't despair. When there is everything to fear, be unafraid. When surrounded by dangers, fear none of them. When without resources, depend on resourcefulness. When surprised, take the enemy by surprise. When the enemy's envoys speak in humble terms, but continues his preparations, he will advance. When their language is deceptive but the enemy pretentiously advances, he will retreat. When the envoys speak in apologetic terms, he wishes a respite. When without a previous understanding the enemy asks for a truce, he is plotting. When the enemy sees an advantage but does not advance to seize it, he is fatigued. If your enemy is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is temperamental, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. If he is taking his ease, give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them. If sovereign and subject are in accord, put division between them. Attack him where he is unprepared, appear where you are not expected. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Thus the good fighter is able to secure himself against defeat, but cannot make certain of defeating the enemy. Thus we may know that there are 5 essentials for victory. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. He will win who, prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. He will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign.